So Bari Weiss, who is a very odd figure in our media, that she's a liberal person who used to work at the New York Times and then quit the New York Times and stated all these things about the Times and their resistance to open-mindedness, free speech, free thought, that all of us on the right had agreed with for years. She just said stuff that we've been saying for a very long time. And then she got a lot of attention for this because she's a liberal. She worked at the New York Times. She's a lesbian, which is helpful, I think, in this regard. And just in terms of the woke, she's got woke points. And she used it to really boost her popularity and her online profile. She used it to start a website called The Free Press, which is by and large pretty good. It has a small footprint, a very small footprint, but the content they put out is pretty good. Some of it's a little too sanitary and generic for my taste, but it's mostly quality stuff. And she's doing that. And then now the reports are that she's going to be taking over editorial control of CBS News, which is shocking. She's going to get control over CBS News, and they're going to buy her outlet, the Free Press, for $100 million or $200 million, which is completely absurd. I mean, I was looking at the Free Press. Let's pull this up right now on X, the Everything app. Their X account has, how many followers do they have? They have 357,000. The Breitbart, we've got a couple of million. And we're the biggest on Instagram. We're the biggest or second biggest after Fox on the Facebook. And then I think we're the sixth biggest outlet on X. And no one's offering me $200 million to go take over editorial. And why is that? It's because there's something going on. There's something up. I don't know what it is, but it is still, even though I find her to be somewhat of an irritating figure, because I do think that she rips off a lot of the best ideas that people in the controversial online right have had for the last decade and a half, and just co-opt them and then turn them into a business model for herself. It is still an improvement. And I want to say this to people because I had a very interesting conversation with a friend who's deeply annoyed by this, even more so than I am. And I want to reassure them that this is okay. This is a positive. So if Bari Weiss, who is not a leftist and is someone who's pro-Israel, pro-free speech in general, and I think open-minded to right-of-center viewpoints, if she is able to take editorial control over CBS, it is kind of awesome. It just is, because it is another win-win scenario where maybe she does a great job. She's clearly not an idiot. She's clearly a good business person, and her values aren't as bad as the people who are currently at CBS. Maybe it's a success, and maybe the country gets a little better informed. That's fine.